proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to TNT, brought to you by Pro Automotive and KMA Racing. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening. Joining me in the booth is my good friend, Joel Guy. How are we doing, Joel?
Scott, I'm doing just great this afternoon in Las Vegas. Kind of warm, but we'll make it.
I tell you what, Las Vegas, always a place for a great race sitting out in Nevada. As I mentioned, this is race 6 of 15. Keep an eye out there tomorrow on Facebook for the Dan Lisa point system scoring update. As this is 15 weeks, we do have a lot of drivers that are out here running for points in the chase, and what an exciting point chase we have. Currently, we have Dustin Lee out there in front with 195 points, followed by Tristan Beats with 179. Now, Joel, this is where it gets interesting. Fighting for third spot is Raymond Rittenauer and Jack Watts with 169 points, as well as Michael James and Jared Lipster in a double-way tie for fifth place. So I tell you what, these guys are wanting these points. A lot of them are up there in front, very safe and sound, but other ones, they're going to have to work a little bit harder in the point chase tonight.
Absolutely. They're going to have to work hard for points, but they also got to be safe and not make any mistakes, or they could take themselves out of the points race completely.
Accuracy and efficiency is where it's at. Now, next week, we are heading on to Michigan. We're looking at Talladega on the week of the 4th, and then over to Texas and Atlanta and Auto Club. So a lot of exciting racing yet to come, but back to Las Vegas tonight. Tell us all about Las Vegas here.
Scott, Las Vegas was built in 1996. They reconfigured it in 2006 to have progressive banking. It's banked 12 degrees moving up to 20 degrees in the corner. So the front stretch is banked about 12 degrees, and all the way around the track is banked 12 degrees and graduates up to 20. Top qualifying speeds are going to be in the 190 plus range.
It is going to be some pretty fast racing out here tonight. We have got our usual group of drivers here at TNT. We have got the guys from KMA Racing. We have got the guys from Southeast Motorsports. Got a couple of independent drivers in here as well. Now, talk to us about the vehicles out here. We call these the Xfinity class.
The Xfinity class is what we call the B-class cars, and we're driving Camaros, Mustangs, and Toyota Camrys in this race. The Camrys seem to have an advantage a little bit in aerodynamics and handling, but the Mustangs and the Camaros have a little bit of advantage on horsepower.
Now, these drivers were given about a 75% load on the fuel, and that is going to equal out right at about 32 to 36 laps. And we're looking for some green flag pit stops tonight. With 36 to go, or with 36 laps in, these drivers will be stretching it, and it is 80 laps tonight. So hopefully we will see 2 cycles of green flag pit stops. And remember, the pit road speed tonight is 50 miles per hour. Pace car speed is 60. So getting into pit row here at Las Vegas, not really a terribly difficult thing to do.
Not a difficult thing to do, but you got to think about it. They're going to be rolling them cars down from better than 190 mile an hour coming down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, and just as soon as they get coming into 4 off of 3, there's pit road staring them in the face with a very short entry track there. So if they don't come off the track before turn 3, they've got to slow it down quick.
Now, these drivers do have less than a minute left in qualifying here at Las Vegas. Time for a couple of shout-outs. Tonight's live broadcast is brought to you by All Pro Broadcasting Network, gentlemen. Check them out, APB, All Pro Broadcasting with Michael D'Amico on the cams. Big shout-out to PAD. We are proud supporters of PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. And you can find more information at padd.org. Also, shout out to Pro Automotive out of Dudley, Massachusetts. That is our sponsor in this 15-week series. Pro Automotive. Check them out on Facebook. These drivers are just about done with their qualifying. So, Joe, how important is qualifying here at Vegas?
Qualifying's not extremely important at Vegas, but it does make for pit selection. The closer you are to the end of pit road, the faster you can get off of pit road. And that makes a difference when you're trying to get back on the track.
Now, I don't believe draft's going to be a real big issue here like it is at the super speedway. But I think we are still going to be seeing a lot of drivers wanting to get hooked up with their partners and their teammates, such as right here, up here with our top three teammates for Southeast Motorsports. We've got the number 51, Dustin Lee, on that P1 spot with a 29.757 side by side with the number 20 of Vernon Margheim, 29.805. Number 19, Michael Jeans, strong contender in the points race, position 3, 29.811. Position 20, car number 29, Mark Jackson with a 29.813. And rounding out the top 5, Mitchell Reeves in the 02. Travis Browder in the number 18 with a 29.821.
In 6th place, we have Mitchell Reeves in the 02 car with a 29.823. 7th place is Wesley Whitfield in the 74 with a 29.840. In 8th place, Damian Gilbert in the 68 car with a 29.840 also. In 9th place is Steve Dutz in the 22 car with a 29.869. In 10th place is the number 3 car with Samuel Given in a 29.875.
Number 88, Gary Burton, sitting in P11 with that Iron Maiden number 88. That is a pretty badass paint job right there by Gary with 29.905. Side with number 37 of J.R. Johnson with a 29.917. Our sponsor, Jason Russo in the Pro Automotive Camaro, 29.919 P13. Tim B. Cox, 29.958. And rounding out, position 15, number 77, Jack Watts, with a 30.014.
In 16th place, we have Tristan Beats in the 211 car with a 30.015. 17th is Jeff T. Martin in the 15 car with a 30.028. In 18th place, we have Jarrett Lipster in the 99 car with a 30.037. In 19th place, we have Danny Rudy in the 27 car with a 30.070.
Bobby Everhart in the number 71, position 20 with a 30.075. Craig Kinney with a 30.114. Rounding out our qualifiers is the number 60 running for PRN with a 30.134. Choosing not to qualify, Raymond Rittenmeyer, Richard Brose, Ivan Garcia, Nick Reynolds, and Jacob Trent Bradford in the rear in position, looks like about 26th. Alrighty, we're getting ready to get down to some green flag racing here at Las Vegas. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a barn burner, and hopefully these gentlemen out here on the track tonight will know when to hold them, know when to fold them, but this is Las Vegas. Pace car getting ready to go in.
Pace car's off the track, and they're on the throttle. Hard into the first turn. 51's in the lead.
51 driven by Dustin Lee on the inside, up going on to that outside lane. Number 20, who started side by side with Dustin Lee, falling already into one spot back, but he is with the team. He is with Dustin, Vernon, and Michael Jeans, all running up front, 1, 2, and 3 for Southeast Motorsports. A lot of action going on in their rearview mirrors as we've got the number 74 of Wesley Whitfield side by side racing pretty hard against Mark Jackson.
Yeah, they're racing pretty hard back there between Mark Jackson and the 29 and Wesley Whitfield in the 74, and the 22 of Steve Dukes is getting in the mix as well.
Steve Dukes, very fine driver, driving that Double D Toyota. We got the 74 and looks like the number 88 Getting into 68, Damon Gilbert scraping a little bit of paint here already on lap 3. I tell you what, number 74, Wesley Whitfield, very powerful driver out here. Clean, square, fair, but he is going to lay down for no man.
No, Wesley won't lay down for any man. He's racing pretty hard for the first of the race, and knowing that they've got to make at least 2 green flag pit stops to get to the end.
Now a couple spots up, looking at Travis Browder in the number 18 Toyota NOS. Travis Browder, a big fan base out here with the iRacing community, one of the younger drivers. He is racing side by side with Mark Jackson. Looks like Damon Gilbert itching to go 3 wide. 3 wide on lap 4 of 80. That would be very early, but Mark Jackson, he is in heavy traffic right now on lap 4.
Yeah, the front 6, you can throw a blanket over them. They're so close. That's some tight racing there. And I assume it'll get even tighter as we get closer to the end.
Well, these drivers, you have to make sure that they do remember that this is an 80-lap race, and we've still got 75 to go. But Damon Gilbert side by side with Mark Jackson on the rear. We are underneath our first caution, ladies and gentlemen. We will take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay and find out exactly what happened here on lap. We do know that Wesley was involved with that. Looks like the number 3 driven by Mark Jackson getting into a little bit of trouble. Or Samuel Given, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. Samuel Given in the number 3 getting loose and getting into Wesley. Unfortunate early caution here at Las Vegas. Now, but these drivers are blessed with what we call resets, so they do have a couple of backup vehicles in the garage, and surely Wesley and Samuel will be going in to retrieve their backup vehicle. Getting a little bit of a better view on that replay now. It does appear that the number 3 and the number 74 just nose to rear in collision. Number 74 being driven up into the wall. And actually, the number 3 of Samuel Given suffering very minute damage on his front end, but that will be a backup vehicle needed for the 74 Southeast Chevy Camaro tonight.
Yes, that was unfortunate for Wesley that he got involved in that. Just looked like the 3 got a little loose, and then trying to overcorrect it, he got into the back of the 74.
And oftentimes that is how it works out. We're going to go on and get our first radio interview in for the evening. Joining me in the booth is Michael Jeans. How are you doing out here, Michael?
Well, I was doing better when I went into the pits in first and come out in second.
Well, but that's okay, though. You're still up there with your good friend Vernon. Is there a plan out here tonight for the guys of Southeast?
Well, pretty much like always. Try to lead all the laps and win the race. You know, that's what we like to do.
All righty, copy that. Looking very sharp out here tonight. So far, so good for you. And good luck to you and the boys at Southeast.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to John over the top paints. Now, tonight's all going to be about saving tires. Tires is king here. You know, got to run clean, got to be safe. Thanks to Pad and KMA.
All right, a big shout out to Southeast Motorsports. Good luck to you, Michael.
Thank you.
That is Michael Jeans, great driver there. He is driving along with Vernon and Dustin. So he's in good spot. Wesley, Danny, Rudy, Dustin Lee. A lot of good old boys over there at Southeast Motorsports. And we're going to get one more driver interview in here. We're going to talk with the number 51 of Dustin Lee, also a driver for Southeast. How you doing, Dustin?
Pretty good.
All righty, you're out here in a very good spot with some very good guys. What's on your mind right now on lap 8?
Just trying to just be patient, conserve tires. I felt like I was kind of running a little too hard there, starting out that last run. So I was kind of backing it down. I knew I was going to drop back a little bit, but I was just going to see if I could save them, then come back later.
Alrighty, seems like you and your partner Michael Jeans are on the same plan about the tire wear. So good luck to you once again with the boys from Southeast.
Thank you.
This will be our first restart of the night, ladies and gentlemen. All starts and restarts are done on leader's discretion. Now, what exactly is that leader's discretion stuff we're talking about, Joel?
Well, leader's discretion means once the pace car's off, the leader can take off anytime he wants to before the green flag drops. When the green flag drops, everybody's going to take off. But if the leader can snooker the field and get a jump, he can get out to a lead and leave the field behind. And that's what most drivers try to do is catch all the other drivers sleeping and jump off before they expect him to.
But now, being up there in the front, you kind of like got a target on your back there. Does the leader, he's got to run harder. Now, that does mean he's burning up those tires a little bit more. Is that correct?
He's burning the tires a little bit more, but if he's out front and in single line, that means he can take his line. He does not get pinched down to the bottom because of too wide racing or get pinched up at the top because of too wide racing. So he can let the car drift and never have to put the car in a bind while he's running through the corners, and that will save tires.
Now, speaking about those corners, Joel, ladies and gentlemen, you will see there is no yellow line out here, so these drivers will be utilizing that apron. You will see a lot of the drivers actually leave the blacktop, drop down below that white line, and make a pass there on that apron. And this is Las Vegas, and it is allowed. And we are back to green flag racing, approaching lap 10.
Green flag, green flag.
Pace car off, they're gone. The 20 car of Vernon Marham's got about a 1 car length lead over 19 of Michael Jeans and 51 of Dustin Lee.
But you know, he is in a very good spot right now. He's not going to get pressured by Michael or Dustin. The pressure coming down is right now coming down from the number 68 of Damon Gilbert, side by side with Travis Browder and Mitchell Reeves in the 0-2. I tell you what, that is where the racing is at tonight. Number 68, Damon Gilbert, looking like a black phantom out here, side by side with Mitchell Reeves.
Yeah, Damon and Travis Browder are going to try to get by Michael Jeans and Dustin Lee and hunt down Vernon, but they haven't got there yet.
You know, this middle line, this inside line, they are just back and forth, and it doesn't seem that Travis can pass Damon or Damon pass Travis. Now, what that is going to force, looking at Mitchell Reeves, he is waiting for that spot to open up onto that 3 wide, and I can guarantee you, as soon as that spot does open, you will see Mitchell Reeves shooting up through there. There was a door, and the door just got shut. On the rear end of Mitchell Reeves is the number 29 of Mark Jackson, racing side by side with the number 22 Double D Camaro.
Yeah, they're all getting kind of racy now. They're not settling down into just making laps. They're trying to get to the front.
Jason Russo making a good pass by his teammate, the number 29 of Mark Jackson. A little bit door-to-door there action. Jason Russo, Pro Automotive, our sponsor for the night. Looking at the rear end of the number 22 of Steve Dukes, but he's got J.R. Johnson in the number 37 coming up onto his tailgate. All drivers doing a very great job. Going to move back up front. Looking at the number 18 Toyota NOS of Travis Browder. Travis Browder making his way to the front of the pack. Making a pass on number 19 of Michael Jeans. Trying to get to the rear end of Damon Gilbert here on lap 14. Great door-to-door action.
Yeah, Travis is trying to get by Michael Jeans, but they're running side by side. Neither one of them is getting any advantage on that.
Slight contact with Travis Browder and the number 19. 19 going up into the wall as Travis appeared to drift up. Either way it goes, minute damage for both drivers, and they are rolling. But it appears it may have made Travis Browder lose momentum, as that has allowed Mitchell Reeves in the 0-2 to come up speedy-like on his outside with Jason Russo hot on his heels.
That is correct. Travis probably had to lift to keep from getting into him hard, and when he did lose momentum. He'll be back under the pedal and get his momentum pulled back up and go back up to the front now.
Well, I'm sure he will, and we just witnessed that as he jumped up in front of Jason Russo. Jason Russo getting to the rear end just a little bit, but that gave the NOS, number 18, the NOS that he needed to get back up into the draft of the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves. Number 19 into the wall. Michael Jeans into the wall on lap 17. No caution.
Yeah, he just scrubbed up against the wall and didn't bring out a caution because he's not blocking the track. So everything's green. He'll have to go to pit road eventually and get that repair done, but he might stay out if it's not too bad until he gets to his first pit stop or caution does come out.
I tell you what, you always hate to see not only a driver but a beautiful paint job like the guys at Southeast and the guys here at KMA have. Speaking of the paint jobs, big shout out to the official painter for KMA Racing, John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs. Give him a big like and a big thumbs up on Facebook. We call him Loose Lug Nuts, but I tell you what, he is Over the Top Paints and Designs. You can check out his work up there on Trading Paints. Back to racing, we've got the number 20 of Vernon Margheim still being challenged by second place, 51 of Dustin Lee.
Yeah, Dustin's trying to get to his bumper, and Damon Gilbert's pushing him, so they'll eventually get to Vernon's bumper. Now, whether they can get by Vernon or not, that's another question.
We are on lap 19. We have had one caution, 2 lead changes. Good action between Steve Dutz and Jason Russo here on lap 20. Steve Dutz and Jason Russo side by side, door to door, battling hard for 7th position.
Yeah, they're battling hard for 7th position. Looks like Jason got a little loose coming off the corner, but Steve backed off to give him a chance to catch it, and when he did, he lost momentum, and Jason got by him.
Well, as that was happening, we did see Steve jump up in front of the 29 of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson able to give him a little bit of a boost like we had seen Travis do the other night. So, right now, all these drivers are helping one another, just giving them a little bit of a boost, keeping their teammates and their partners within that draft. And if Mark Jackson and Steve Dutz and Jason Russo keep working together, such as they are, they will get to the rear end of Travis Browder. But right now, Travis Browder hanging on for dear life in position 5 onto the draft of Mitchell Reeves.
Yeah, there's a little bit of draft involved at Las Vegas, but not like it is on the 2.5 mile super speedways. This is more of a save the tires and drive the car and not put the car in bad position type track. You've got to drive the car here. You can't just hammer down all the time.
Up to the front with Vernon and Dustin Lee. Hard team racing, but Damon Gilbert down on the inside, getting onto the rear end draft of Dustin Lee. Going to make a pass for Vernon. Mitchell Reeves with a very nice crossover move. I cannot tell if these drivers are working together or if they are working against one another, but there's a lot of great racing right now. Damon Gilbert side by side with the Coors Camaro number 20, Vernon Margheim.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're working together or if Vernon was just backing off a little bit to conserve tires and letting Dustin and Damon go.
Vernon and Damon getting very close within that wall range area. The wall is something you desperately need to stay away from. We've got Mitchell Reeves coming up, and we are 3 wide with Mitchell and Dustin, and Vernon Markheim just 3 wide there for a second as Mitchell Reeves went down to utilize below that white line like we were just talking about. Now this action with these boys going 3 wide, that has actually allowed Dustin Lee about a 0.03 of a second lead, get a little bit of a breakaway here on lap 25.
Yes, that much of a breakaway for Dustin Lee, but allows him to drive his line, not worry about anybody behind him cutting him off or trying to come under him, so he can cool his tires down by driving his line and not wearing the tires out.
Going back and taking a closer look right now at J.R. Johnson in the number 37. J.R. Johnson is side by side with the number 19 of Michael Jeans, but in that rear view mirror is the number 15 being driven by Jeff Martin. Jeff Martin driving the Freedom Train Camaro. Check him out, ladies and gentlemen, Freedom Train. Great up-and-coming band.
Yeah, Jeff and Jeff Martin and J.R. Johnson racing hard together. Jack Watts and the 60 of Brian Rainfield are also racing hard 2x2.
Jack Watts and Brian Rainville right now battling for position 16. Brian Rainville running for Premier Race Network, that is his home team. Great bunch of guys over there. Brian looking very sharp out here in the number 60 Ford Mustang. Sitting in P17, losing that little war there to Jack Watts, up with Jack Watts and Jeff Martin and Jason Musso. These boys are getting ready to go into some 3 wide action. Jeff Martin looking very sharp out here on lap 28.
Yeah, it looks like that Jeff does want to go 3 wide to get around Jason and J.R. Johnson, but I don't think he'll try to do it in a corner. I think he'll try to do it on straightaway.
Now right here, we're looking at Jeff Martin actually having to let off of that throttle to keep out of the rear end of J.R. Johnson. Now what that has done, that has opened up that outside lane, and we have been seeing the number 60 of Brian Rainville. We thought he was out of it, but he is back all over the rear end of the 77 of Jack Watts, right up to Jason Russo. These 5 drivers right now battling very hard for 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th position.
Yeah, this is the best racing on the track at the moment. The leaders are just stretched out in a straight line. Dustin Lee has almost a second lead over second place, and second place has a second lead over third place.
Number 15, Jeff Martin and J.R. Johnson scraping paint ever so slightly, but that is going to cost a little bit of momentum on the number 15 Freedom Train Camaro, and will allow a very safe passage for the number 77 of Jack Watts. But Jack Watts and Jeff Martin side by side on lap 31. Now these drivers should be coming up onto some green flag pit stops here in just a few laps.
That is correct. They might stretch it a little bit further than 35, 36 laps because of stopping during that first caution we had. But if they didn't stop during that caution, they'll definitely be stopping within the next few laps.
I tell you what, getting a big kick out of watching Jeff Martin and Jack Watts side by side. Neither driver seeming to, they're both giving each other plenty of room, but they both want this very badly tonight, as Jack Watts does get pass on the number 15 and sets his sights on the number 37 of J.R. Johnson. Jack Watts has got that room on that inside lane, getting a little bit of a run, but J.R. Johnson back down, protecting that position right now.
Yeah, it looks like Jack's got a little bit better tires than anybody else for some reason right now. He must have been sitting back just taking it easy and not wearing on his tires, because he is passing cars without any trouble at all.
Big action back up towards the front a little bit with Gary Burt in the number 88. Gary Burt in a 3-wide position with Mark Jackson and Steve Dutz. Now Gary Burt right now is sitting in position 9. battling very hard with the number 19.
Yeah, they're
Tim-
battling hard for that position.
Tim Cox also up here. Tim Cox driving the number 8 Pepsi Camaro. Tim Cox battling hard against Mark Jackson, Gary Burt, and the number 19 of Michael Jeans. But Steve Dutz is the leader of this 5-pack. Steve Dutz sitting in position 7th, Mark in 8th, Gary in 9th, Michael in 10th.
Yeah, they're racing hard. They must have pitted because during that first caution, because there we are at 35 laps and it doesn't look like anybody's fixing to go on pit road.
Now, when these drivers do begin their green flag pit stops, pitting is critical, as I mentioned earlier. Not a hard deal to pit, but you still have to be very careful going in, getting a penalty. They're going to hold you back for 15 seconds. Get going out, you're coming in for a stop and go. Back up to our race leaders, Dustin Lee with a 1.6 second out of second place up there, all by his lonesome. But back in second, third, appears Damon Gilbert. Gilbert going into green flag pit stops. Number 68, Damon Gilbert, green flag on lap 36 into pit row.
Yeah, Damon lost it a little bit going into pit road. I don't know if he got caught for a black flag or not for speeding, but he was sideways trying to slow it down.
Now, hopefully he got her slowed down just in time. Dustin Gilbert taking the right sides. Pretty sure he's going to be taking left sides. Bit of an interesting early strategy pit for Dustin Lee on lap 37.
Yes, Dustin took all 4 tires, tank Sunoco fuel. He's off pit road and heading back out on track.
Now, I tell you what, right now, pit row is a very busy place. We've got Brian Rainville and Dustin Lee going in side by side for their round of green flag pit stops. Also, Travis Browder in the number 18 sitting in pit row, as well as is the number 19 of Michael Jeans. Mark Jackson severely overshooting his pit box by 2 boxes, having put it in forward again, getting back in there. That is going to cost Mark Jackson at least 6 extra seconds on pit row.
Yes, it will. Travis has got his fuel and tires, and he's headed back out on track.
Always so much fun to watch these drivers go in and out of pit row under green flag circumstances. Travis Browder out on track, currently in position 14 with 42 laps to go and one more green flag pit stop coming up.
Yeah, the rest of the field should be pitting as we speak. Now, all these cars that are pitting have gone a lap down to the ones that haven't pitted. So they're hoping like the devil that they don't come out no caution and they get locked a lap down for pitting too soon.
Now, you are absolutely correct, and by that rotation of those drivers that have not pitted, that does leave 9 drivers on the lead lap. But as soon as those green flag pit stops continue to cycle through, those numbers will get back up into the full field of such where they would be. Quick shout out to Becky Whitmer joining us in the All Pro Broadcasting chat. Good to see you, Becky. Vernon Markheim, our race leader on lap 41. Steve Dutz in position 2. Tristan Beats in position 3. Tight action for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. We've got Tristan Beats side by side with Jason Russo scraping paint with Ivan Garcia. Tristan Beats going into pit row, but getting the big side swipe and howdy doody from the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. Minimal damage, though, for both drivers.
Yeah, and Vernon Marham, he's got like almost a 6-second lead on Steve Dutz, so he's got a big lead, so he can back it down some just to save tires.
Now Jason Russo in the Pro Automotive Camaro, he is currently sitting in 3rd positions, actually getting passed by lap drivers. Now, the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is these other drivers, they have gone in for fresh tires. Jason Russo, having not pit yet, is on limited tire as the number 15 Freedom Train goes whipping by along with the number 60 of Brian Rainville. Jason Russo currently in third place, but needing to get into pit road to get some fresh rubber.
Yeah, they'll be pitting soon, and when they do, they'll come out with better tires than the field has, and they'll start passing again. Vernon Marheim, the leader, is fixing the pit.
Vernon Marheim doing a very good job tonight, trying to get that Coors Camaro slowed down into pit road. Looks like he's about at the right speed, crossing them lines. Very good job tonight for our race leader, Vernon Marheim, in pit row. I'm betting you 10-1. He's going to not only take 4 tires, he's going to probably try to pick up a fresh spare tire if that were allowed out here.
I'll guarantee you he'd probably try to pick up a spare tire too, and a couple of extra gallons of fuel.
Now this should be his final pit stop of the evening if he has done his mathematics correctly. Good job to Vernon Marheim. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had one caution here on this 80-lap race 6 at Las Vegas. 4 lead changes. Very good racing. Now our current race leader is Steve Dutz, and Steve Dutz in the Double D Camry. Steve Dutz in the pit row as well.
Yeah, Vernon will probably have to conserve a little fuel to make it to the end, because I think he pitted with 37 to go, so I think he might be 1 lap short on making it to the end.
Now Ivan Garcia in third place position going into pit row as well. So right now we are back up to having 19 drivers on the lead lap. Steve Dutz is our race leader, but he's pulling out of pit row as we speak, surely going to get past and lose that number 1 spot.
Yeah, Steve will probably lose the first position to the cars coming by him, but he'll be at the front by the time we get to the end of the race. And you were talking about Alvin Garcia. Seems like you never talk about it to the end of the race, and there he is near the front of the field at the end of the race. So he's not out of it yet.
Ivan Garcia driving the number 72. Mickey D's got a little bit of front left damage, but you are absolutely correct. He is a very solid top 10. But right now he is going to have to work. He is showing 1 lap down in position 22. As the number 18 of Travis Browder, trying to work his way around Ivan Garcia on lap 47.
Yeah, Travis is back there working, but he's actually in 4th place, but he's like 4 seconds off the lead, so he's got some distance to make up.
Now Damon Gilbert out here in the front. Damon Gilbert all by himself out here on lap 49, but that's okay by Damon, because that gives him the way he can run this track the way that he prefers to run that track.
Yes, it does. And back a little ways in the back, Brian Rainfield and J.R. Johnson are fighting side by side for 8th and 9th. And that's about one of the best battles on the track at the moment.
Looking at the Freedom Train getting up there, trying to get onto the rear end of the number 60 of Brian Rainville. Going to possibly get a little bit of a boost there from the number 88, Gary Burt. I tell you what, this Freedom Train, number 15, looking very sharp out here, holding very solid.
Yeah, that car's holding very solid, and they're driving a good race. And it's not time to go yet. They still got some laps to go, so anything can happen. So just keep the car clean so that you got a good clean car at the end of the race to fight with.
Now looking at the line of the number 60 Brian Rainville, taking up every bit of that track he possibly can, almost as if he is trying to individually hold off Gary Burt and Jeff Martin, and Jarrett Lifster coming up as well. But on the other hand, Jeff Martin he is very dedicated to his line. You can almost predict where he is going to be. Two completely different driving styles right here, Joel.
Yeah, it looks more like Brian Rainfield's trying to use what we call a modified Q line to keep from wearing tires, to keep his tires as good as he can for the end of the race, so he's got something to work with to fight for position at the end. And Jeff is running just the fast line around the track and making as much time as he can now.
Now he had passed the number 60 of Brian Rainville, opening up that outer lane, and we're seeing the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster driving the official KMA Flame Attack, brought to you by Over the Top Paints and Designs. Jarrett Lipster passing Brian Rainville very steadily, in fact. Brian Rainville possibly used up those tires. We've got Gary Burton going for the pass on the Freedom Train, number 15, Jeff Martin, side-by-side action with Gary and Jeff. I tell you what, Joel, their bumpers were just about kissing right there.
Yes, they were, and kissing on this track is not a good thing.
Gary Burt getting up very close to Brian Rainville at the rate of speed he is going. Looks like Gary Burt will be able to get around Brian Rainville, trying hard as he might.
Yeah, he's trying hard to get around him, and he might get around. Jarrett Lipster, on the other hand, is doing everything he can to pass J.R. Johnson in the 37 car.
Jarrett Lipster going forward tonight on lap 55. He is in position 9. Side by side almost with the number 37, Jerry Johnson. But Jerry Johnson doing a very good job of holding Jarrett out. Jarrett, a young driver. He is actually the brother of my other co-announcer, Cody. And Cody did a great job teaching Jarrett side-to-side door banging action. Number 99, Jarrett and J.R. Johnson locking rear ends a little bit, sending Jarrett down. But very nice recovery by Jarrett Lipster. But that is going to allow the number 20 of Vernon Markheim a big run up the outside of J.R. Johnson.
Yeah, and if you notice, Jarrett jumped up in front of Vernon to try to block him, and now he's back down in front of both cars trying to block him. So he's trying to make that car as wide as he can to stay in the position he was in, but it looks like he's losing the battle.
Well, I tell you what, that was a pretty smooth right there by Vernon Markheim, shooting past J.R. Johnson and the number 99 of Jarrett Lipster. And Vernon Markheim right now up to position 8, and now that he has cleared the traffic of Gary Burt and J.R. Johnson and Jarrett Lipster, he's on his way out of here. But very tight action with Jarrett and Gary.
Yeah, there was very tight action, and the 15 of Jeff T. Martin just scraped the wall, so he's going to lose a little bit of momentum in that group of cars.
Well, Jeff T. Martin still not out of tonight's race, still looking at one more green flag pit stop, and as I mentioned earlier, they do have a backup vehicle tonight. So when you're down to like 10, 15 laps to go, Joel, if you haven't yet grabbed that backup vehicle, I mean, that is your option, and you can come out here with a brand new Toyota Camry and get out here and fresh tires, fresh engine, and you are good to go.
Yeah, that's a option that you've got, and I'm sure there'll be some drivers that pull that option because you can get that brand new vehicle a lot faster than you can make a normal pit stop.
We are on lap 60. Our race leader is Damon Gilbert. Position 2 belongs to Mitchell Reeves. Position 3, Craig Kenny. Tim B. Cox out there getting rooted on by his good friend Noah Stevens. He is in position 4. We've got Michael Jeans in the number 19. A great driver, getting into a little bit of earlier problems with another driver, but he is sitting right here, knocking on the rear end of Tim B. Cox, battling him hard for 4th place. Michael Jeans going into pit row. Number 19, Michael Jeans into pit row on lap 60 for his final pit stop of the evening.
Yeah, Michael's on pit road, running that slow 50 mile an hour down to his pits. and it feels like you're crawling when you got to crawl 50 mile an hour down that pit road like that. He slid to a stop. He's a little bit off-centered in his pit, so that's going to cost him a little time with his pit crew. He's getting right side tires only, fuel, and gone.
Number 68 of Damon Gilbert, another one of our race leaders. He is into pit row as well. Number 68, Damon Gilbert, green flag pit stops.
Damon missed his pits by a little bit, went past the line, so he had to back up, so he lost some time with his pit crew. He's got right sides. He's getting left sides and fuel, and he's gone.
Number 90 of Craig Kinney, surrendering position 2 for a green flag pit stop. I tell you what, it seems like just about all these drivers are getting in and out of pit row. We have got Craig Kinney in pit row. We have got Bobby Eberhardt in the Pennzoil, number 71, directly in front of Craig Kinney. Both of these drivers, green flag pit stops tonight here at Las Vegas.
Craig got 4 tires and fuel, and he's gone. He stopped in his pits perfect, so he got a perfect pit stop. Did not lose any time on pit road.
Number 77, Jack Watts, going in for green flag pit stops here on lap 63. Jack Watts, he is sitting in here in 4th place, heading into pit row. Currently in 5th place. As these drivers do pass, he is now in 7th place. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge out here. As we mentioned, pitting strategy. Seems like the guys that may have pitted early may be in a little bit better of a spot right now.
Yeah, they're in a little bit better spot, but the cars that are pitting now, they're going to have fresher tires, so they're going to be making more speed on the track than the ones that pitted earlier. Jack took 4 tires, and he's gone.
Big shout out to Michelle McMaster Eisenhower, just joining in for the All-Pro Broadcasting Chat. I'm going to tell you what you missed, Michelle. You have missed a lot of 2 and 3 wide. Great racing. We have only had 1 caution here on race 6 of 15, 7 lead changes, and a whole boatload or casino chip load here at Las Vegas of green flag pit stops. Our current race leader is Mitchell Reeves. 2nd place belongs to Vernon Markheim. And 3rd place, Gary Bird, driving the number 88 Iron Maiden.
Yeah, but those cars have not made their final pit stop, so unless they're trying to stretch fuel mighty far. I mean, Vernon, he possibly can because he had pitted with 37 laps to go, but I don't think the other ones have enough fuel to can stretch it that far.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, for our sponsors. Commercial break.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
And we are back to Green Flag Racing here at Race 6 at Las Vegas. Remember, viewers, hit that like button, not only for our broadcast and for our teammates, but hit that like button for our sponsor, Pro Automotive. We are on lap 74, 6 laps to go. Mitchell Reeves out there in P1 position, 9.6 seconds ahead of Vernon Margheim. Vernon Margheim, 5 seconds ahead of our third place position, Gary Burt. Jason Russo, 4 seconds back off of Gary Burt, 18 seconds back off of our leader, Mitchell Reeves. Now, Mitchell Reeves right now racing side by side with lap traffic, but the lap traffic doing a very good job, not challenging. When you're in that position this close to the end of the race, Samuel Given was given the pass by our race leader. So Mitchell Reeves not looking to race Samuel. He's already got him beat. Mitchell Reeves just needs to continue this line for the next 5 laps, and he'll bring her home tonight.
Absolutely. There's no need in him fighting with a lap down car. Just let him go. Don't slow yourself down. Actually, Mitchell Reeves is on pit road.
Mitchell Reeves on pit road. My goodness, he may have miscalculated that fuel load. Ladies and gentlemen, what is Mitchell Reeves doing on pit road? There is no damage. Surely he would not have miscalculated that fuel load. This could be a very costly mistake for Mitchell tonight. Tough break for Mitchell Reeves with an obvious recalculation. Just going in for a no tires, no nothing, just a splash and a dash. But right now he has lost that lead position to Vernon Margheim. Well, now I'm wondering, Joel, does Vernon Margheim have enough fuel?
Vernon might not. It's been 37 laps, or right at 37 laps, since he pitted. There was 37 to go whenever Vernon pitted. That's going to be stretching it.
Now Vernon Margheim allowing the safe pass for Jeff T. Martin in the number 15. Jeff T. Martin right now currently sitting in position 13. Vernon Margheim, our current race leader, 7 seconds on the heels of Vernon is Gary Burt. And Jason Russo, 9 seconds back. Jason Russo within striking distance of a number 2 spot tonight belonging to Gary Burt.
Yeah, I think Vernon has backed it down a little bit, trying to conserve fuel and make it to the end. He's watching his competition and just going to stay out in front of him, because it looks like to me his lap speeds are dropping.
Right now, Gary Burt sitting in a very good third place position. As we are watching him go past the number 27, he is hot on the heels of Jason Russo. We are on lap 79. Vernon Margheim, 7 seconds up in front of Damon Gilbert. Our second place driver, Craig Kinney, sitting in third place.
Yeah, Vernon has dropped his lap speeds down into the 160, 170 range, so he's not running full throttle. He's just running fast enough to stay out in front.
Well, we have received the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. So Vernon Margheim, he may be floating on fumes tonight. doing a very good job with 8 lead changes. Damon Gilbert 6 seconds back, not really seeming to be in that big of a hurry. Craig Kinney sitting in position 3rd, not going to catch Vernon, but may overtake Damon Gilbert. So right there is the racing to be as these drivers are completing their 80th lap. Been an amazing race tonight here at Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And this will bring home our Victory Cup tonight for the number 20 of Vernon Margheim, bringing home the P1 position. Damon Gilbert sitting in position 2 and Craig Kinney in position 3. We are going to get these drivers up here momentarily for race interviews. How about it, Craig Kinney? Have you got a copy, sir? Craig Kinney.
Hey, what's that?
I'm doing very good, Craig. How are you?
Not too bad.
Alrighty, a very impressive move tonight out there on the final laps, getting up there into the P3 position. Talk to us about your night.
Well, didn't really have any speed whatsoever in practice or qualifying, so it was nice to see some speed on the long run when the tires were not at their best there, so it worked out in my favor.
Alrighty, well, I tell you what, we were very impressed with the way you handled things out here tonight. A real stand-up guy out here. Congratulations on your P3 position, Craig. Good job.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, our number 2 spot tonight belongs to Damon Gilbert. Talk to me.
Yeah, it was an overall pretty decent race. I didn't run like any practice laps, went in just unexpected of how the whole car was going to be. And just got beat there on strategy, I guess. Thought I was doing the right thing, but ends up wasn't, obviously.
Alrighty, well, I tell you what, you and the boys over there at Southeast Motorsports pretty much dominating the night here. You guys must spend a lot of time working together out here, practicing and doing your thing.
I haven't. This is my first lap that I did was qualifying. I didn't do any of it. They might be out there practicing. I'm not really aware of what they're doing. I mostly am just around when it's race day.
All right, copy that. Well, very impressive tonight. Number 2 for Damon Gilbert.
Thank you.
Vernon Margheim, you got a copy?
Oh, yes, I do, sir.
Well, talk to us about how you won this race.
You know, I noticed in practice some of the guys were getting 34, 35 laps, so I noticed right after that caution flag that I can save enough fuel and make it to the end, even though I'd lose a lot of positions. If it stayed green, I could do it. It's Vegas. Roll the dice. You got to do something for it, you know. And thanks to the Coors Chevrolet tonight, IndianaDiesel.com for all your diesel needs. GTR Simulator. You better believe I'll be drinking some Coors tonight.
I hear that, Vernon. Congratulations again, and we'll catch you at the after party.
Thank you, sir. 10-4. Have a great night.
All right, thank you, Vernon. Great job tonight. All right, I tell you what, we only had, one caution out here, 8 lead changes. Joel, talk to us briefly about what you saw out here.
Scott, we saw some great racing. We saw some good 2-wide racing. We saw some good pit strategy. We saw fast, hard racing and safe racing. No major caution wrecks, just a minor 2-car incident. And the rest of any damage done was people getting loose and slapping the wall and bending up a little sheet metal.
All righty, copy that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, great night tonight here at Las Vegas. If you enjoyed what you've seen, give the broadcast a like. Go to All Pro Broadcasting, give them a like, give me a like. Give our sponsor, Jason Russo with Pro Automotive, the one out of Dudley, Massachusetts. Make sure we're showing Jason some love. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by All Pro Broadcasting. I am Scott Kulovic, your announcer for the evening. My good friend Joel Guy, I appreciate your help, Joel.
You're welcome, Scott. Glad to be here.
And we will return, ladies and gentlemen, Friday night with the KOA Friday Night Series, and we will be at Michigan. And we'll catch you on the flip side. We are out of here.
On my 2 wheels, all
JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.